Hi everyone. You are joined by MSN here on the MSN Entrepreneurship Talk. Today we are joined by Mulalo Nemataheni, who is our speaker, who is an entrepreneur. Um, we met on LinkedIn. I saw her profile. I saw that she's doing quite amazing stuff. So I want her to share with us her journey in her business and how she came about her business. We're going to talk everything about businesses. So welcome, Mulalo. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well, and how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. We are trying. So please tell me a little bit about Mulalo. Who is she and where is she from? Yeah, your background basically.
Okay, my name is Mulalo Nemataheni, and I am a certified financial planner by profession. I'm based in Thohoyandou in Limpopo province, South Africa. And in terms of my educational background, I've got an undergrad in BCom accounting from UCT, and then I did my postgrad in financial planning. I have experience in financial planning, banking, and now also experience in business. So at the moment, I'm currently completing my MBA with Menkosa, and I look forward to using everything that I've acquired throughout my journey to help other people and also help other entrepreneurs in their journey.
Oh, great to hear that. So, if I may ask, what makes you think that you want to pursue the financial education? Why you went for a BCom accounting?
For me, when I was in high school, it was between medicine and accounting. And at the
Mm,
end of the year, that's when I decided, looking at the future, having a long-term view in terms of where I want to be. So I decided, okay, let me focus on accounting because the numbers make sense to me and I enjoy working with numbers. So it's something that I'm passionate about, and I thought it's better to pursue this one.
nice. So, a very big one because many people, when they start careers, uh, they some people wish they had known something before they even began their careers. So then my question is, what is one thing that you wish you knew before you join your career?
I wish I knew there was financial planning because when I started with accounting, it was because of the CA route. But then I bumped into accounting. I would have started with, I bumped into financial planning. I would have started with financial planning right from the start because it's not just about the numbers, it's about the numbers and the people. So there is that relationship that you build, the trust that you build, and thereafter you get to have a long-term relationship with someone, helping them make decisions that will benefit them and also benefit the future generation. So I wish I knew there was financial planning.
Right. So what is the core problem that you are seeing in out there in life that people are facing that you thought that, you know what, let me come up with this financial planning education and business so that I can assist people with their finances? What is it that people are struggling with when it comes to finances?
We can simply say money management. And another thing is because people are not financial literate. So they don't understand the basic components of financial planning and how that affects their balance sheets. Because, as I always say, every decision is a financial decision. But we think that our finances are only concerned with the payday and the day after payday. And then we go on like everything that we do does not affect our finances. So for
Right.
me, just to make people conscious enough to understand that even the type of um, clothes that you wear, it's a financial decision. What you have for breakfast, it affects your
Yeah.
finances. So that consciousness and allowing people to make informed decisions, it's what has allowed me to pursue this journey.
So it's funny because I always ask people this question, and I'm gonna ask you as a qualified person. Would it be much better if people studied financial literacy in school? Would they be doing things differently, or they would be still be influenced by what is happening in our, on our social media? People are boasting about what they have, the position they have, the cars, and people are feeling the pressure. Hence, they start mismanaging their funds. Will the background of financial literacy help them in order to make wise decisions if maybe they
Most
got this education in school?
Most definitely, I would highly recommend that because something that you're taught from a very young age is something that you grow up knowing as the truth. So
Right,
the beliefs that we hold, if we're taught from a very young age, would be able to save us in future. Because if you understand the value of managing your finances, you wouldn't feel the pressure and you would understand that everyone is walking on their own journey and what the other person is showing on social media might have different ways that they have achieved it, which is far different to how you are walking your journey. So I would highly recommend it in even in primary school.
right, yeah. Okay, would you please tell us a background of your business and how it started? You have a very beautiful journey where you started as like you were working full time on your job, and then there's a time where you like, you know what, I don't want to work for someone anymore. I want to work for myself. So how did you come about that? Would you please take us through your journey of working and coming with an idea of starting a business?
Oh, okay. So my professional experience has been in banking. So I've worked
Okay.
in the bank for the past 8 years, which was in private banking, in financial planning, and also in business banking. And in doing that, you get to work with different kind of clients and get to understand that there's different needs that people have.
Right,
Let me say there's different financial needs and there's different solutions or products that are suited for those needs. But when you're
right,
working in that area, you don't have to decide in terms of what is right for the client. Obviously, your scorecard will decide for you. So for me, it was a matter of what is right for the client and creating that environment where I'll be able to say, we're not putting your money there, we're putting your money here so that it can grow according to your needs. So for me, it's purely about creating the environment where I will be able to do what is right at all times.
right. Hmm, amazing stuff. Amazing, amazing stuff. Um, so I have to ask you this question because we are seeing people doing businesses and they're doing quite well when you're looking at them on social media and all of that, but we don't know what really transpired for them, to get to where they are. So I have to ask you this question. What has been your biggest failure in life and what did you learn from it?
I would say that living life without that consciousness that everything that I do affects my balance sheet or my net
Yeah.
worth. Because sometimes we come across opportunities, or I came across opportunities where I didn't have the means to take hold of those opportunities, which I would say
Mm,
it's a mistake because it's something that I had not planned for. But had I
right,
put a measure in place and ensure that in my early 20s, I'm building up a fund that will assist me to grab some of the opportunities, I would have been far in life. So,
mm,
what I've learned is that one should always be prepared of what may come because we never know what the future holds. Just last year, this pandemic came as a surprise, and some people didn't even have enough savings to last them
yeah.
throughout. People had to take cuts on their salaries. Some were laid off, but because we were not ready, we are still not ready, and we still have not recovered even today. So the biggest mistake would be not grabbing hold of opportunities and not being prepared for the worst case scenario.
True, eh? So, how has this pandemic affected your business and how you are operating in your business?
I would say that I'm grateful for the pandemic because
Hey,
it was it was within the
nice.
pandemic
Not
that I
many people are
decided.
saying that, eh?
It's funny enough because when it comes to business, I will answer your question just now. Somebody mentioned that as entrepreneurs, we tend to want to blame the pandemic. And this
Yeah,
lady was very clear. She was like, you were broke before the pandemic, still broke now. So don't blame the pandemic. So for me, with lockdown, that's when I decided, okay, there is a need. And in order to pursue that, I would need to be focusing on my business full time, ensuring that the financial education is getting to the people, the personal finance is sorted, so that should things like this happen in future, the people within my community or the people here in this country are ready and better prepared. So the pandemic has allowed me to say, getting into this full time, and this is what I want to do all my life.
yeah. I think your niche or your business is a much needed business, irrespective of the pandemic, irrespective of what is happening in the world. You know, if I don't know about money, I don't know about money, irrespective of the pandemic. So I think it's one thing that is very much needed in our society. I know that because I wrote one of I wrote a blog actually on LinkedIn talking about the financial issue that there are so many people who are not very literate about finances. Even if you can give them 1 million, within a couple of years down the line it'll be gone. Why? Because they don't know about money. Jim Rohn also talks about this, the fact that people don't know about money. Even if you can give them 1 million rand, they won't know what to do as long as they don't have financial education. So I guess what you're saying is right, is right to say, your business didn't really struggle because your job is needed. Hey,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. All right. So if you were to advise someone who wants to pursue a business similar to yours or start a career in become accounting, maybe to study towards become accounting, what would you advise this person to do?
I would say that they need to understand their why. So they need to
Mm,
understand why they would like to be in this kind of business. They need to
right.
understand why they want to study, become accounting. Because at some point you get graduates that have studied, but when you ask them why they studied that, they don't have an answer. And even when you go further in terms of what they want to do, they still don't know what they want to do. They just say anything that needs a become accounting. So for
Mm,
me, from my experience of doing the degree itself, I would say
yeah,
that it's a great qualification to have, but it's all up to you as an individual in terms of what you want to do with it. You hear people
right.
saying that their jobs um, with Become Accounting, but there are graduates with Become Accounting that are sitting at home. So it's up to you in
Mm,
terms of what do you plan to do with the knowledge that you've acquired? What do you plan
right.
to do with the business that you're deciding to start? So it's up to an individual. Even if you don't have the qualification, you can still make it.
Mm, nice, eh? Yeah, that's a powerful one. Um, what resources uh, did you need in order to start your business? What kind of resources that sort of helped you to pick up your business and be where you are now?
I would say the experience and the relationships that I
Mm,
built throughout my professional career or my journey in life. Because
right.
with the experience that I had, there were few or there was a lot of learnings that are still applicable even today. I remember when I started working in financial planning, one of the best advice that I got was that you treat your 1,000 Rand client like a 1,000,000 Rand client because you never know what's going to happen tomorrow on that 1 million rand client. So this business is based on a relationship. So if someone feels the need to contact you before they make a financial decision, that's when you know that your client base is proper, because it's people that are willing to walk the journey with you. But if you diss someone because they only have 1,000 rand, even when they get their millions, they won't come and consult with you. So it's of utmost importance in business to treat people with respect and honor.
Sure. That is very important. That is a crucial resource in business. Networking, respect, and have a good eye. Hey, you need a good eye to spot the right people that you need for you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they say in networking, people can open the door for you, or they can open the door to you. So you
Right.
need both those people that you can network with, and people that can also link you to the people that you need in order to go forward in your business.
Absolutely. This question is tricky, so I didn't even prepare you for this one. Tell me, who are the three people that are influential to you, that inspire you, that you look up to every day? When you wake up in the morning, you say, these are my people, these are the people that I want to be like, and these are the people maybe that I want to meet one day. Who are those people?
Oh, okay. So the people that I want to meet, some of them I've already met. So the people that inspire me, or the people that I look up to, the first one would have to be my dad, because he's someone who is passionate about what he does, and he is one of the people that make sound financial decisions. And he also imparts that knowledge to us as his children. I remember
Right.
the other time he would ask me that how much do I have in my bank account, something that parents don't do when their kids start working, because they
Yeah.
think if I tell them how much I have, black tax is going to come in. But for him, it was simply to say, you must have your financial goals and say, at the end of this year, I want to achieve this much and work towards that, because the goal will bring the discipline. The other person that I look up to would have to be my partner, because the support that he provides, it's a well-needed support, and it's someone that is always encouraging me to be better in life and also in business. So someone that can celebrate you and celebrate with you. So that's another person. And then the last person that I can think of at the top of my head is the former First Lady of the USA, Michelle Obama. So it's someone that
Yeah.
I would really love to have coffee with, and just to learn more about her journey and what was it like to be with someone who is of that influence, and being able to be yourself even though you're expected to be a shadow of someone that powerful. So there is so much to learn from that woman. We actually read her book in August on the book club that I ran, and just learning from her story, you want to sit and have coffee and ask more questions and understand how best can we move forward as a nation. Thank you.
Interesting. It's funny how you have the influential people not being, the people that are out there living the flashy life, and you have just put them like around your area. Because many people, when I ask this question, they think about people abroad, they think about people who are floating with money and all of that, but it is really those people who are helping us in bits and pieces. Those are the people that we really should look up to. Yeah, no, thank you so much for that. One last question. What is the myth that people have about your profession? What is it that people misinterpret in your profession? When you talk about financial education, financial literacy, financial advising and all of that, what is it that people like misinterpret?
They think I'm there to sell them policies.
They always think about
When you
policy.
say you're a financial advisor, they think, oh my God, we're going to be sold policies. So that's what the industry is perceived to be. But from
Mm,
my side, the focus is on advisory. So as the business
right,
name itself, it's EmpowerX Advisory Services. EmpowerX
right.
is I am, and then there's power, and then there's X. So with I am, it's someone who's saying that I'm taking upon myself to change the narrative. And then when we talk about power, we're talking about being able to make the decision that will bring the desired change. And X itself is a variable, meaning that we're not just limited to this person and that person. We're willing to accommodate and assist clients from a wide range of segments. So with that, we are changing the narrative. It's not just about signing here and your premium gets debited on a monthly basis. It's about
Mm,
thinking about what is important. Is your will in place? Is
yeah,
your understanding and practice of budgeting being followed on a monthly basis? How are your
sure.
debts? Are you in contact with your debtors? Do you wake up one day and just email them or give them a call to say, I'm still here, I know I owe you, but we're going to make a plan? Or when they called you, run away. So we want to make this as practical as possible to show them that the product is not more important than the advice itself. So
Hmm.
we're not selling you policies, we're selling you the advice, the information that you need in order to make decisions that will help you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I'm sure our listeners and viewers are getting a lot from this. They're gonna learn and they would know that financial literacy, financial education, it's not about selling a product. It's never about that, but it's about getting the core uh, problem out of your way. Move whatever that you have a problem with. Do you have your 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 retirement in place? Do you have all those things in place? I guess the thing that I'm struggling with myself is the retirement issue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a specific time for one to have a retirement, or you could have a retirement at any point in time as a person?
My
When
answer to that is
realize-
that
when do you realize that you know what, I need this retirement policy in place?
you start as soon as possible and then you start where you are. So the simplest way of saying this is that numbers don't lie. So
Mm,
depending on the type of lifestyle that you want to live, and
right.
depending on your affordability, then you can start as soon as possible. It doesn't even have to be on a fund where you say, I'm afraid that I won't reach the 60 years, because that's a concern that most people raise. You can
Mm,
even start saving for your retirement on a product that you know that should things change, that money you can still access. But the
mm,
goal would still be the same of saving for retirement. So even someone who can afford only 50 Rand a month, they can
mm,
start putting money away to say that this is for my retirement, because you never know what the future holds.
mm,
Some people would never get to work a job that will provide a provident or a pension fund. So it's upon themselves to set up something in place or to go find someone who can advise in terms of the different products that are available, still catering for the same goal. So
mm.
it's never too early, it's never too late. You can start where you are.
Thank you so much for that. Uh, Mulalo, thank you so much for being with us today. We really, really appreciate your time, and the expertise that you have shared with us. I am particularly learning a lot. I'm like honestly was struggling with the retirement thing, but obviously I'll be in touch with you with regards to that. But anyway, where can our listeners get hold of you if they wanna connect with you and do business with you?
I'm available. So my number is 083 261 0700 083 261 0700. And they can also get hold of me on Facebook, on Instagram, and I'm available as Mulalo Nemataheni, or they can look for EmpowerX Advisory Services. Our email is info@empowerx.co.za. EmpowerX, it's written IM power and then X.
Ah, great. Well, thank you so much for that. We will also put them on the screen for our YouTube viewers. So thank you so much for being with us today. With me, MSN on Entrepreneurship Talk with MSN. I thank you so much. Salute. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.